So we did some bell work of just some f of g ofs and g of f ofs. So I'm just going to leave that one up there for a second. And then this is a ladder over here for YouTube there. It's talking about how the ladder rungs, if you don't do your stuff in August, September, October, and get it figured out, then the ladder, how are you going to get up here when you didn't do anything down here? Arr, and get that figured out. So anyway, thought I'd talk about the ladder real quick. All right. So here we go. Now we got some word problems. So I'll give you a second to write this down. Write down the important components. Don't draw a picture of a phone. Okay. Be a good note taker. I did talk about that back all the way back in my early illustrious career. I don't know about that, but we had a note taking class for seniors, and they actually taught them like, all right, you see something, what's the quick way of writing what you see up there, using codes and all this other stuff and shorthand, and it's kind of a cool class. I remember the teacher; she was awesome at it. She forgot her name, but I got her face in my mind right now. So really what you should write is, okay, I get $5 off my next purchase, but I also could get 10% off my next purchase. Sometimes this happens, you get a combination of stuff. So on your next trip, in which order would you like to have this happen? Okay, now here's the time for, this is an algebra class. We work on the algebra and do equations because sure, the beginning questions are simple. But what happens when they get more complicated and we can't mentally figure it out? The algebra and creating equations allows us to do that, and then also allows us to plug in different numbers, and I have an equation or a formula that make this work out. So we need x. We need x's. We need equations. We need to do this mathematically in an algebraic sense, not just figure out what's the best. Because I think you could figure out what would be better: $5 off first, then 10% off, or 10% off first, then $5 off. And I don't know if that's a chat question per se, but I think we could mentally figure that out. But we're going to do this in a sense of algebra. So what we're going to do is create two separate equations. Here's the $5 off equation. And if we have struggles with what I'm going to write next, I don't know what I can do. The price is X. That's written right here. So $5 off would be the price minus 5. Hooray. All right, this is math honors. In the chat, what would be the correct 10%, 10% off formula? Somebody's already in there. Ooh. Does that say minus, Ethan? Or does that say times? Ethan, say it says times. Good. I'm actually surprised. I don't want to say surprised. That sounds like a shot. I get students that write 0.1x all the time in my CAT class for these. Really what it is your price minus 10% of your price. So yes, in the chat, almost everybody. Yeah, put that 0.9x. Nice. Awesome. Good to see. Okay. Now, here's how, and this is what and I know businesses run off of computers to do their predictions about, things and formulas and all that other stuff. But you have to know the math behind it to program the computer correctly to do what needs to be done for your company. Hey, I talk about math being in engineering, architecture, astrophysics, traveling to planets, but it's also in business. Anyone that wants to be business, or obviously other aspects of business, but there's a thing called business calculus for sure. So yeah, anyway, blabbering. So what would you want? 10% off, then $5, or $5 off, then 10? This is a f of g of f of x scenario. In this first one, 10% off, then $5 is an f of g of x, because I'm getting this first, then I'm getting $5 off. So that's how we express this as an expression. This one is a g of f of x, because I'm doing $5 off first, then, oh boy, that was supposed to be highlighting. Then I'm doing 10% off after that. So simplistic terms, I made that red. G of X is 0.9x. And then F of that, no time for colors, is, wherever there is an X in the F function, I'm replacing that with 0.9. So there's the 10% off first, then $5 off. I think you could have figured that out in this simplistic scenario. Whereas in this one, F of X first, which is $5 off first, then wherever there's an X in this, replace that, with 0.9 times. And unfortunately, my nines and G's look very familiar or similar, I mean to say. So that can be a problem, I guess. All right, and then if I distribute this, 0.9x minus 4.5, and that's that answer. And obviously, because our time is short, this is the better deal for you. You could compare that 90% off, then minus $5 compared to 90% off minus $4.50. So better for you to do it that way than the other way. Okay, I'm going to do this one after the bell rings. If you cared to look at that, because look on your calendar today. I haven't put it up there, but I'm going to select like 3 or 4 questions out of the book again from the same section yesterday that are these word problems. Because I got to go over this one real fast. By the way, the bell rang here, and then 2 or 3 minutes later, students showed up. So we're going to stick around. Okay, so the demand D, and again, this might be one of those that you might want to start. I probably only have like 4 more minutes left on this video, so it's not even going to be, even when I do that other one. The demand D in units sold for a company, new brand sell at price X. Okay, so price is X. We often would make students write this over the years. I just write the expression that we need. And the demand, which is called D of X, equals 5,000 minus 10 times X. Okay. All right. So what is the company's expected revenue? All right. Well, we should figure out what revenue is. Revenue is how much money you take in. And revenue is equal to the price you charge times the amount of things that are bought, which is what the word demand means. Demand means how many people want your product, how many people buy a phone. So how many phones are bought? Oh, I don't think they said phones, did they? Yeah, it is a cell phone. Boy, we're talking about cell phones a lot today. So this is pretty simplistic. Okay, my price function is X. That's what the price represents. Times, here's another indication of your cheating software. The cheating software uses X for times. And then I saw a lot of people writing that down. Oh, never once in my notes have I ever used an X for a multiplication symbol. Never. So these little tiny suspicious things of those Common Core copiers copying off of a cheating. Okay, I'm done. All right, and then that's it. Really, what we do then is maybe just distribute, and this was just an indication of multiplying two functions. This wasn't an f of g of x or a g of f of x. So the point of this question is reading it, understanding that what the formula is for revenue, and then proceeding on from that. Okay, the bell has rung. Go to the calendar after like I'm done with this. That's the very next thing I'm going to do. Put like 3 or 4 questions. Ain't going to be no thing. You may leave. I'm going to go ahead and leave this up here for a second for those that are finishing writing, as I do see you. And then I'm going to go up to that one question I skipped and make that the end of my YouTube video. Yeesh. No, there isn't. Not on Wednesdays. But we're fine. Tomorrow's going to be a new lesson, and then just come in tomorrow with, a smattering of questions. That'd be good. Okay. Yeah, I just want to finish this video. Otherwise, I'd do it right now. Okay. All right. All right. See ya. All right, and then continuing with the video, just was talking with the student. They were asking me a good question. This was like in a try it section that we often use. Somehow I cut that off there, but try it. As a member of a game shop reward program, hope you enjoy my reading a story here. You get a 20% discount on purchases. All sales are subject to a 6% sales tax. Write the function to model the discount and sales tax. Now, this one's not an order issue. We're not going to do f of g of x and g of f of x and see which one's better. No, this one, you get 20% off, then the register does the tax after. So you only get taxed on what you actually pay. So this is one order. It's either f of g of x or g of f of x. So we'll call f of x. I'm not going to write it on the notes. The 20% off. So 20% off is you pay the price. Does it say x is the price? Right function of sales x. Identify the rule for the campus. Yeah. You get 20%. So we'll call the price x, and you're getting 20% off. And then everyone in the chat, both classes was awesome. They put 0.9x right away for 10% off. All right. And then no time for colors. G of x equals the 6% sale tax. Now do figure this out. That is x plus 0.06 of x, which ends up being 1.06x, right? And you might have been able to come to that right away, but that's what happens. You pay or have a price, and then you pay the government 6%. So that's where that 1.06 comes from. So what comes first? You do this first, then you do this. So this is a g of f of x, and let's just make sure we got that right. So yeah, the register takes off the 80 or takes off the 20%, and then that's what you pay. Then you do the g of function, which is pay the government their 6% tax. So now wherever there's an x, you're going to replace that x with 0.8x. So yeah, you pay 20% off first, then you pay the government 6% of their taxes. That's why this is a g of f of x scenario. All right, I'm just doing 1.06 times 0.8. So this ends up being 0.848 whatever x is. And that's the combination of these two functions. Okay, all done. Just wanted to show that. This is not one way or the other. This is one specific way. I'm trying to stop my video. Sorry for fumbling on that.